Hi everyone, welcome to Sunshine Life. My name is Lisa Powell. Thanks for watching. Today I want to give you just a few tips on how to avoid some common mistakes when you're remodeling your home. Mistakes that could be very costly in the long run. When you're remodeling your home, that alone can be a costly proposition, but avoiding some common mistakes could definitely save you some money. First is think through the project. Make sure that you have everything written down. If you're good with graph paper, make sure everything is measured correctly and down on paper. Have a plan because if you go into, let's say, a bathroom remodel and you've picked out the perfect shower tile or the perfect new vanity, things like that, and now all of a sudden you have to move plumbing. That could be very costly because chances are, if you can't move plumbing on your own, you may have to hire a contractor to do that. So be aware of what needs to be moved ahead of time so that you don't run into those problems later on down the road. The second thing is don't skip building permits or ignore building codes. This is very important. A lot of us, of course, we want to save money. A lot of us think, well, we don't need a building permit for this or that or the next thing, only the large items. But I've actually known of families who have skipped building permits when they've even put a new roof on their home or put, let's say, a shed in their yard. And these things are very important. Especially you need to check your county codes for what you need to do in your area. But here in Florida, to put a new roof on, the sun here does really take a toll on our roof. I mean, the hurricanes, storms, hail, things like that. So from time to time, people will decide, oh, I could get up there and I could do it. And yeah, they can. However, don't skip the permit. Here's why. Let's say your house was built in 1965 and you put a new roof on in 2018. Say you decide that you're going to go sell your home and the new buyer is getting inspections. They are going through county records to make sure that there are no liens on the property and that everything is up to code. Well, what happens is that when the title company goes and is looking for information, they're going to see that that roof isn't really there because the last permit that was pulled was most likely in 1965 when the home was built. What you did in 2018 is not going to show up unless you pull the correct permits. So I would always highly suggest you do the permits and follow building codes because, again, that could be very costly in the long run if you don't do that. If you decide that you're going to hire someone to do the project for you, make sure that your handy person is licensed, insured, and bonded. Again, I recently worked with a family who wanted to replace the tile in their family room and in their kitchen area. And they hired someone who originally was licensed, insured, and bonded. He had his own company. And when he actually went to do the work, he broke a water pipe and flooded the main first floor. The flooding was extensive. It ruined the wood flooring in the bedrooms. It ruined the carpeting in the formal living room, dining room area. It actually wicked up the walls. The moisture wicked up the drywall. All of that had to be replaced. When the family went to the handy person and talked to them about reimbursement, he let them know that he was no longer licensed, insured, and bonded, and he had let his licensing go at least 6 to 8 months prior to that, but he had neglected to tell them. So if you are using an outside contractor, make sure that they're licensed correctly, insured, bonded, and that you fill out the correct paperwork, noting that they are, in fact, licensed, insured, and bonded, and that both sign the paperwork. Again, It'll save you a lot in the long run. Now, in this family's case, they could have taken them to small claims court, but again, even small claims court can be very costly. So take the proper precautions prior to hiring anyone. So you're a good do-it-yourself person. That's great. I love doing projects on my own as well. Definitely take the steps to measure, remeasure, measure it again. Let's say you have always been dreaming about that gourmet kitchen. You've stayed awake at night planning it out. You've been saving for years trying to make sure that it gets done. You get that commercial size refrigerator to your home and it's that much too big. Now what? Well, if you've purchased from a company that will allow exchanges or returns, that's great. That'll help. But if you purchase from a private party or you purchase from, let's say, a warehouse, chances are they're not going to take a return. So what does that mean? That means you're going to have to reconfigure the space that it fits into. You may need to move cabinets. You may need to have cabinets rebuild. You might have to move plumbing. So always measure, remeasure, measure again. And of course, that doesn't just go with like large appliances. That could be even a simple vanity in the bathroom or, fitting a shower enclosure, some of those molded shower enclosures into the right spot. Even shower doors, if they're not measured correctly, they're not going to fit properly. Have a reserve budget. Very important. We all know accidents happen. It's inevitable that something might happen. You might, put a hammer through a wall accidentally. Some of the bigger things are, though, recently I worked with a family who they had ordered some very special travertine flooring for their living area. And it had to be special ordered because they wanted it to be all from the same dye lot so that the color variation wasn't as great. And when they went to pick it up, the forklift that the company used to actually put the tile into the bed of the truck dropped it, and it all went crashing to the ground. Almost 50% of all the tiles were broken. Now, in their situation, the warehouse did have to pay for those damages because the tile had to be reordered. However, it delayed the project. So now the next person that had to come in, or the next contractor, they weren't able to do what they needed to do until that tile came in. So it delayed the project, and delayed projects can also cost money. Now, let's say that you were picking that tile up on your own. You had ordered through a warehouse or you had ordered through a private party and they weren't responsible. Let's say you were loading it up, whether it's tile, wood, appliances, any type of fixture, and it falls and it breaks. They're not responsible, you are. So having a reserve budget is going to help with any of those unexpected disasters that may happen. Don't skip inspections. Inspections are very important, especially when you're building a home, because you don't want to take any shortcuts when you're actually building the home from ground up, and including remodeling. Make sure, like I said earlier, that everything is built to code, because that's going to be important. So check your state, check your county, make sure that that's taken care of and you know what the codes are. Don't skip inspections, especially because if there are any things that are covered by warranty, if you skip the inspection period, that will most likely void that warranty. So it's also important when you're having your home insured, when you're going to sell your home, any of those things, proper inspections are very important. So don't take any shortcuts when it comes to that. Saving money when you're remodeling or building a home is always a great idea. We all want to save money. And by doing some of the simple things ourselves, that's going to help. But don't skip on the big things because, again, that could actually cost us money in the long run. I hope these tips were helpful for you. I'm sure your project is going to turn out beautifully. I know that remodeling can be stressful, but maybe taking some proper steps and avoiding some common mistakes will help in reducing the stress just a little bit. So when you get a chance, please like me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you soon with some new tips. You take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.